When you unmute, well, I guess he does run the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm your god
is-
here.
this is his domain. He can do what he wants.
Right.
That was real, by the way. Google that shit. One of them is
No,
like,
no,
one of
I
them
believe
is
you.
I won't.
No, actually, I'm
Hey,
not
Sonic.
going to.
I hope that he's
refuse.
doing better. And
reject you.
let me know, all right?
Anyway, I don't know which image here you wanted to push out to us at this point. Is it the town main street image?
Yeah, it's just the main street of the town. We don't really need it for anything right now. It's just I wanted to have like a more relevant backdrop.
Oh,
Fair enough.
yes.
Wait, did we were in the power plant last? Did we get that fixed?
You
Think
got
so.
the power, so you got the power plant fixed, and I was gonna kind of just humana. You guys like.
Oh, I'm
going
glad that
back
it
out
went
the-
well, and I hope your
Yeah, we
visit
get back
goes
to town.
well,
Yeah,
and
you
that
get back
he
to
recovers
you
very
get back
quickly,
to town at like
and that he's home
what is
soon.
essentially 5 a.m. where like the Empire's patrols have calmed down enough that you can walk the streets relatively unimpeded, and everyone's kind of dead. So like you have basically a modicum of privacy pretty much wherever you want to go.
Yeah, we used our escape rope to get out of the power plant, and then we used fly back to town. You know, like you do.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, what do you know? Like I said, there's a. By
I
the way,
book it.
let's say it's like Let's say it's like a 15-minute walk. Yeah, it's a real awkward 15-minute walk.
Well,
I
I
don't
assume
know.
we probably would have taken him aside before getting
Like,
back
the
to
power
town.
plant?
Yeah,
In the
like
power plant?
I'm
Okay.
gonna fucking like I'm not waiting for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they were
I don't
not
know.
waiting, that they were just
Cool.
going to
Then-
ambush me
cool.
in the
Then-
power plant.
Then cool. Then we can fire right into it.
So Kazron,
Yes. Oops.
I noticed a little something you did there. What is it that you did? Like you threw a knife or something, but you used the dark side of the force?
I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
Subtle.
Oh no, I'm trying to say
This
like
is Daniel asking
Yeah,
to
well-
remember.
Oh,
what we
yes.
did.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Correct,
I
you threw
used...
a knife at somebody and used the force to make it basically a railgun.
Yeah.
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 when you threw that knife, I sensed more than just your hands doing the work.
I'm really good at throwing that blade. As I
The
pull it
blade,
out, and I'm like,
a
oh,
day and
it
a
still
half
has
ago.
blood on it, and I wipe it off on my cloak.
It's a blade
It may
you
not
got,
be
like
the only red blade you have.
Who said it was red, first of all? The
it's covered
vibrant
in blood.
facts.
He means it's covered in blood. I was like,
And not anymore. It's not a red
was like,
blade,
it-
see?
that you're so defensive of this. You're like Freudian slipping.
Yeah.
Understand that you have not tried to kill me yet. And
Why
that I'm
would I?
very aware that both the Jedi and Sith orders are obsolete. All there is the Empire now.
All there is the force.
That's not what I said. There's one fight we have to finish before we have to fight.
Kazron, I will say, I think there is something deep within you that when he says the Sith are obsolete, there's that little bit of
Whatever was
programming in the back of
left.
your mind that basically is like urging you to pop your disco stick and show him exactly how obsolete you are.
Yeah, but I'm not going to, because I'm still trying to
Oh,
play
no,
this off. Yeah, no.
Yeah, so
And there
basically-
is that want to do it, hence the Freudian slip of, what do you mean it's red?
I am also curious
I don't know what you're
Mira's,
talking about.
I'm also
The
curious
gist
what
of
Mira's
I'm
impression
saying
is.
is I'm onto your ass, but we have way bigger problems. But as soon as those problems are taken care of, you and me are meeting outside.
You gonna cash me outside?
You're gonna 1v1 me on Rust.
Listen,
Yeah, go ahead.
listen. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
So,
really
real
good
quick-
with that blade, man. That's all. I don't know what you sensed or felt, but I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
So real quick, Ryan, what were you saying?
I don't think he was. He went to get a drink.
I see.
All he said was "Catch me outside." How about that?
Mm.
But
I want to kind of see if they'll actually believe me when I say I don't know what they're talking about.
That is up to you guys whether or not you'd like to roll for it or just decide via RP.
I think when I sensed it, I rolled like I think max on the dice, which for me would be like 8.
Yeah, me and him both rolled like super fucking high sense rolls to feel what he was doing. So like, I don't think there's any way you could bluff. out of
Nah,
it.
I mean,
Okay.
he could bluff his way out. You could bluff your way out in the sense that you could claim to just be a force wielder, not
you could
an
bluff your way out of
established
the
Sith
conversation.
Lord. You can bluff your way out of being a indoctrinated Sith Lord, but they know they know what you did.
Listen,
Pitter patter is off to the side where it's just like both the Jedi and the Sith are obsolete, and it's pitter patter just like, well,
Who the
shit, we can pull some spare parts out of them at the very least. I mean, this thinks there's like it's like a model of car where it's like your Camry and your Honda Civic are both obsolete. It's like, well, shit, man. I mean, what's wrong with them? Can we like get a new belt in there? Is like a transmission issue?
I can probably
Listen.
fix it.
so I don't know what your problems are, guys. I'm just here to make a living, okay?
I haven't said of it. I have not mentioned any problems.
Well, he has, so I don't know what your problem is, Shar, but like, calm down. All right, calm down. Have a drink on me. Have a drink on me. Relax. I don't know what you sensed. I was taught that trick a long time ago by some dude. How to throw a blade that far. All right.
What did that dude look like? Perhaps was he wearing
I
a
was
lot of black?
I was like 10.
What
I
is
can-
eye color? Is it like an intense yellow?
Hold on 1 second. I have to look up my backstory for a second.
I can tell you exactly who your master was.
Who was it? I
Your
forgot.
master was Count Dooku.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. There were. I don't know what you're talking about.
Funny enough, Count Dooku did in fact not wear all black, and he did in fact not have yellow eyes.
Right. So I can say that with 100% certainty. No.
You fucker! You somehow picked the one Sith Lord
I know.
that doesn't meet that description.
I know. It was well done too.
It's also funny for Shar because he's just kind of Sith racist. I mean, they're objectively evil, but that's just poor writing.
Yeah.
Like that's more the fault of like
What's poor writing that he didn't have the stuff?
no, that Star Wars is just a balance between good and evil, and even though they say bring balance in the Force, there's actually no nuance, and it's just good versus evil.
Listen.
We don't need to get into that right now. We can get into it during the next. We can get into it during the next arc where I get into all that.
Yeah. Listen. It was some old guy. Okay. He taught me some shit. Then he disappeared, and I've just gotten even better at throwing that knife. So like, I don't know. Force, not force. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He had me close my eyes and focus, and I know how to throw the blade really far. I got really good at it. Like,
All right, fair enough.
I don't understand why all the hostility, man. Like,
what's with all the hostility, man?
I'm trying to really play it cool.
Look, he
Ryan,
was just sending his knife out to the audience. He didn't do anything. He's just autistic.
Cole kind of shrugs and he goes, "No hostility here, just curiosity and interest."
so real quick, as I said, I'm interested to hear what is Mira's take, because Mira also has a vested level of emotion in this.
Yeah, but I didn't pass the check, so I'm just going off of them being like, "Yo,
I mean,
you're being weird."
okay, so that's fair.
And
So
the only
you,
one that I really trust is Daniel, so I'm like feeling a little confused about it. Like, what the heck is even going on here?
okay,
Fair.
here's a question for our friend Kanor.
Yes.
Do you believe the Force exists, or are you on that like Han Solo grind where it's like a weird superstition?
It's a weird superstition. I don't know anybody who believes in that malarkey.
So basically, to you, what you're hearing is like, admit it. I saw you throw that knife. You're a Methodist, and it's like the Methodist and the Southern Baptist are both obsolete. And it's like Ben, just all things are equal. All things are equal in the ways of the Lutherans.
Oh my god.
And this is
Whereas-
exactly why I don't get into this religious mumbo jumbo.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
neither do I.
But no, so it's just a pretty tense moment right now. Like I said, Kazron, the jig is kind of up in that sense, but
I'm
as we
trying to
said, you
play it
got-
really cool.
I keep
now,
getting checks.
now, Ben, I will say, for whatever it's worth, pretty much every okay, when specifically during the fight initially when the Outriders invaded town, and again during the what do you call it? During when the sheriff got shot on that initial night, you did feel like that pulse of like a profound wrongness in the Force that often accompanies dark side users. Is there a
Right.
bit of you that suspects that this guy is linked to that, or are you accounting these as like separate incidents?
Oh, Kazron? Kazron wasn't around when those other two events happened, so I assume his Force smell probably smells different.
Okay.
So what you're saying is I smell weirder than others.
You haven't showered in a long time.
That's
You smell-
probably true.
You smell musty.
It's that smell. That smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells
Hmm.
smelly.
Indeed.
Listen, I just want to get, like, I want to make some money, get a plot of land, and just, like, live out my life. I don't... The fact that there's trouble here, to be honest, I've been thinking about booking it for the past couple of days, because this is, like, a little too much chaos.
Well, I commend you for
But
aiding us in figuring out what's going on here and helping the people of this town.
I appreciate you for not hating me outright.
I mean, what is there to hate?
I don't know. Apparently, Shar thinks I'm some kind of Sith.
I know what I felt.
Hate leads to suffering.
Okay, if you say so. If you say so. As
Just see
I
Shar sitting there, just like, damn
Twisting.
it, he's right.
just twisting in the
he's-
wind, just
This
twisting.
man here is spitting.
I'm gonna take like 2 steps closer to Shar, like I'm in his personal space bubble now.
Listen, round your drinks on me at the pub, and like, let's figure out what our next steps are. I want to see if I can purchase some land.
I'll
I got a
definitely take
hotel
one.
room, and in this shady part of town that I might go to, but like, for right now, I think we should just go back to town, have a drink, see what the deputy's doing. Like,
Yeah, we need to figure out what happened to the sheriff, honestly.
Pitter, who is about vibrating out of their skin, having to stand here and trying to let their friends talk out whatever weird situation they're talking about, is very eager to go to the hospital to fix their favorite robot, second favorite robot, because this snafu here is taking up time where Pitter could be doing that.
Okay,
no worries.
Ooh, more lollipops?
let's go.
Yeah, let's. Doc Smiley's a friend of mine. I
Yeah,
wanna see
and
if
we
that's
still
what
need to get
mother's gonna-
Kanor repaired. He's hurt.
Oh, Kanor's leg got
Yeah.
fucked up. Yeah, let's do that.
Before this adventure is just I don't trust this weird doctor robot thing. Almost eaten by space hippo. It's like I'll tell you what, that Doc Smiley sure does make me chuckle. Oh man,
Smiley sure does
I've
give
lost
you-
a lot of blood.
Peter has left you guys behind.
What,
Peter
what's
has
that
just
about a friend in need? A friend indeed? Something like that?
There's a small dust cloud in the shape of Pitter Patter standing in. Can I say I imagine Pitter's resting stance to be like that. I don't know what do you call it, Ben? It's like the little kid wide stance.
we should
of,
be
like,
able to take some
leg,
organs
shoulder
when they're
length
not
apart,
around. But
arms,
right
like,
now,
kinda
I'm
cocked,
under
like,
suspicion of being
You look
some
over
dark
and your kid
shit.
is like stood
and I
in
am,
the doorway because they've been
but
waiting with unbroken eye contact. For
trying
45
not to
minutes
be
ask
even
you
more
to choose
sus
it.
and
They're
slicing
like-
organs out of people's
It's like
bodies.
goblinoid.
The
Yeah.
NPC Goblin Power Stance.
It may or may
stance?
not
Yeah.
be a good idea.
I imagine that is Pitter's like resting stance.
I mean, with all the arms Peter has, they just kind of rest like that anyway, because they sit on top of each other or cross, whichever. We're holding various tools and crafts.
So, quick question.
Yes.
All right, so let's head over there.
As you guys are walking back to town and
I will also
Carrying
say, like I
Canor,
said, it's
I'm
like
assuming.
it's like 5 in the morning.
yeah, I was
So it's-
wondering if in the middle of all of that, while they're busy realizing that I'm not as important as they think I am, and Kanor being as injured as he is, that they should probably focus on that. You think I could slip away to that shady place for like 20 minutes?
By the shady place, I'm assuming you mean the Bounty Hunters Guild. Because that was the one you were interested in. That was the one you were interested in. Was they mentioned the guild hall.
Right, I forgot about that place.
There really wasn't another like shady bar I mentioned.
Yeah, there
Or
was.
did you just
There
mean, like,
was a
Bravo?
strip club.
Oh, you mean the strip? Yeah, you can go over there. You have business there if you want.
I do. I always have business
Okay.
there. They just don't know it yet.
Sure. I will say it's LB's place, and it's not like a super shady establishment. Like it's a legitimate business.
Nice. Even better. I like legitimate businesses.
There's not really the town is too small to
have
really
shady
have
shit.
anywhere that's like. Well, it's too small to be either super upscale or super shady.
Fair.
But
I
yeah,
kind of
anyway.
just cut away from them.
Okay.
Does anyone try to follow me? Or are you all too focused?
No, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go to Doc Smiley to help them get him fixed.
Okay.
Yes,
I-
please. Owie.
Kanor and Pitter are definitely going to Doc Smiley's. The question is, does Shar and Mira follow me? That's more.
I'm
of a-
probably the one helping Kanor like limp back to town. Got his arm over my shoulder.
I would like lollipops.
Have his other
I
arm.
still have not gotten to go to the candy store.
You know what? Valid.
That is
I actually
fair.
agree.
Close.
I get like I'm holding Kanor with one of his arms over my shoulder, and I actually let him take my staff in his other hand to help him walk.
Right kind of you, stranger.
I don't trust Kazron anymore,
I am a very trusting person.
but I'm not going to like follow him alone because that's I know that's going to create a he said she said situation where like
Awesome. So I just have to convince everybody else to go somewhere else when I want to go do dirty deeds. Got it.
Also, can we just talk about it real quick? Ben's philosophy being, well, I was told to always trust in the Force, but I was also told the Force resides in the heart of every living being. So
Right. You trust every living being.
I guess
give
I
people
just trust
credit for
everyone.
As a basically space hitchhiker, I've been given a lot of goodwill over the years, and I try to pay it back.
I was
Fair
raised
enough.
in religious dogma where I was told that you specifically are evil.
Who's
Anyone who uses the dark side of the
No,
force.
Kazron, I'm talking about with Kanor. Like, I'm literally giving him my prized possession to use to help him walk.
Yeah, like his most prized possession in the universe, and it's just like, here, you can use this as just like a cane.
Right. Just until we get back there, so until your leg gets fixed, yeah, to help him get around.
Right on. Does it give me any
Yeah.
like mojo or anything?
What?
You know what?
Does it give me any
just
like Jedi
roll
mojo
me-
or anything?
Roll me empathy.
Empathy, huh? Okay. Well, I don't have
We
any
have
dice.
force
empathy.
skills if you want him to roll a force skill.
He doesn't have any force abilities, so I was giving him the option to roll with any bonus whatsoever because he doesn't have access to the
It's-
force.
He does not have any bonus in empathy either, apparently, so it's the same thing.
Well,
You
owie,
feel-
owie, owie.
You feel the pain that you're in your leg gently begin to subside, and there's a feeling of stability that comes over you, and that sureness of like when you've gone from walking on a wooden floor to walking on a concrete one, where you just feel that there's more of a sense of equilibrium from under you, and then you
Okay.
realize two things suddenly. The first thing you realize is, oh yeah, my leg hurts less because I'm walking with a cane. The second thing you realize is that you might be a little concussed.
Oh, yes. For sure.
Just having this profound moment of connection with the universe, and then you realize, like, oh yeah, I'm literally using a crutch. I should drink some water.
I need a lollipop.
And if they can get Doc Smiley fixed, you can have one.
Pitter patter, you sure you can fix that, old doctor?
Pitter Patter's gone. Pitter Patter is like at the hospital now.
Pitter-patter.
You guys-
So real quick, I'm gonna say you get to the hospital first. You get there, the lights are clearly on inside, but the door is still locked with a sign basically of like, will reopen, like this is the time at which the clinic will reopen. Fuck off otherwise.
Pitter sits there for like 5 seconds, considering, and decides to knock first. And if that doesn't get answered, Pitter will then begin trying to break in.
Great, you knock, and then you hear like you see like a camera aperture like widen a bit of like someone checking a security footage.
Pitter waves at it.
Great, a little grate opens the door, and you hear a voice inside. Just, it's late. Go back to. It's late. Go back to wherever it is you're going back to.
Pitter turned on the electricity and needs to fix Doc Smiley. Open.
Yeah, just. How many times do I have to? How many times do I have to tell you? And just don't need help repairing the damn clanker.
Okay, but has Doc Smiley even turned on since the electricity went boom?
Great. From inside, you hear a truly pained, tinny noise, like trying to play audio through just a hooked, blown out speaker. Of you just hear.
Okay,
It's turned on, and you hear a long pause and just. Well, it turned on.
We're not there yet. No.
great. That's a good first step. Now let Pitter in so Pitter can fix it the rest of the way.
There's a long pause and just. You're not going to leave me alone until I agree to let you work on the
No.
robot, are you?
No.
What would you say? Just no.
No. He's learning.
Great.
Mm.
Look, he's only like 5 years old. Give him a break.
Oh, he's like 10 years old at this point, I think. Or no, he would be 30 years old.
Keep in mind, this is only like 5-6 years after the Empire took over.
Okay, so it's relatively new. So, but you said we got stormtroopers already.
Yes, they have aged out enough that, especially in the Outer Rim, most of the existing clones have either been moved into training roles or have been consolidated towards the Inner Rim, where the Emperor is more focused on like really consolidating his power. It's kind of at the phase where it's like, I don't really give that much of a fuck about the Outer Rim, so I'll put the conscripted troops there to let them cut their teeth.
So 5 years after the fall of the Republic, Clone Wars was like 4 years or so. So he's almost 20 years old at this point.
Oh, okay, good for him. Great. He sighs and just says, I'll give you 15 minutes. After that, he says, great. He opens the door and just says to you, he opens like a crack, like just enough of a crack for you to slip through.
Peter is instantly inside.
I'll give you, I'll give you 15 minutes. After
Peter's
that,
at the robot
he
now.
says, if the damn thing's not, he says, if the damn thing isn't working by then you can go home and I start calling around for a scrapper to see if I can just buy a new one.
Rude.
Peter is immediately already working on Dr. Smiley, but also when he says that last bit, pauses, turns to him, and says, if you find a new one, what happens to Doc Smiley?
He shrugs and says, I don't know. He says, to cover the difference in the cost, I'll probably sell them off to get melted down for parts.
Peter
He sighs.
twitches, and
Oh my
Peter
God.
twitches as for once in their life they consider not fixing something so that they can buy Doc Smiley instead.
No, he means like to whoever sells him the new one, but it's also said in a way that like
Want to?
it's not even that he doesn't want to. It's financially he doubts he's going to be able to find another medical droid at if there were more medical droids available that were of superior quality, he would have bought them.
Right. This is more just an empty threat.
It's an empty threat of like you're working on your car and you're like, I swear to God, I'm going to throw this thing in the fucking ocean and buy a new car. No, I'm not.
I can't afford that.
I can't afford to throw it in the ocean to buy a new car.
I can't afford the gas to get to the ocean. Pass me the wrench.
Okay.
Great. You see Doc Smiley is assembled. He's hooked up to like the now running power supply. His chassis is open and exposing like the parts inside. You see that like a lot of Doc Smiley's inner components are, just with a cursory look, salvaged from other pieces of machinery.
Peter can appreciate that.
Like this is a bubblegum and duct tape kind of repair job here, as you know, there's a reason this guy's name isn't Mechanic. But it looks like someone who has been doing their best.
Okay. Well, Peter's about to do better. So Peter starts working on it.
Okay. Real quick, I'll say that in that time, the rest of the party can kind of catch up as you get to the door, and I'm gonna say, just for comedic effect, you all get there as you loudly inside hear someone like. Basically, you hear the noise of Doc trying to argue with Peter that, like, no, you can't fix the robot by tearing the copper wire out of my walls. That's not an even trade. No, I don't care. No, I don't care that you have more at home. What does that even mean?
Why would the walls even need it if a doctor does not doctor in the hospital? You wouldn't even have the place.
Hey, Doc.
Doc, we need help.
Is
Great.
this the doctor or
Yeah.
or just the handler?
No, this is the doctor. Well, okay. Are you is that a question you were asking, or are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
You hear the noise inside of presumably whatever human owns the hospital, like owns Doc Smiley. But you have heard him addressed as Doc.
I thought we met him already.
Kazron didn't. He was, or Kanor didn't. He was in a coma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, TLDR, you would know there's an organic medical professional that owns the clinic. He's a reclusive weirdo that nobody's ever met and a lot of people assume doesn't exist.
Well, he's not going to exist for very long if he keeps giving Pitter a hard time.
Great. If you guys knock on the door, the Great opens the door and just, whoever it is, you can fuck off.
I grab him by the collar. I intends to bleed on your property until you leave my assistant alone to fix your stupid robot. Now shut up.
I intend to bleed on your property. Goes so fucking hard. For a threat that ultimately amounts to, I need a place to sit because I'm dying.
After he says that, I look at Doc and I go, he also requires medical attention. So
He has lost a lot of blood. I don't think he intended to be this rude.
he is very injured, and we need help. Is Doc Smiley working?
Pitter's working
All
on
right,
it.
Sonic.
Oh,
I hope he
Find
feels
out in a minute
better,
as he
and I'll see you later.
That's because Pitter is awesome.
Great. He curses and just basically cracks open the door and like ushers you all in. Like, get inside. Get inside. And he goes, he ushers you all in, slams the door behind. It's just kind of like rubbing the sides of his head in like, this has been a horrifically stressful like 72 hours for him.
You're doing a good thing, Doc.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Up on the table.
Trust me, this is what she lives for.
I'm
He
also
goes-
still visually like uncomfortable being in the same room with him.
He looks like he's very uncomfortable being in the same room as you. He's like puttering around in a drawer, getting supplies together. And without looking at you, he just says, "If you've changed your mind about cutting my head, or if you've changed your mind about killing me, I'd like to request that you stick that saber through my heart rather than cut my head off." Always seemed a particularly undignified way to go, but he shrugs and he goes, "Everyone's a critic, right?"
I never intended on killing you. Or
Then you're an idiot.
what?
He grabs a little box and he goes. Right, as he sits down and like begins working on Kanor's leg, just like with his own medical expertise, and he goes, "Well, near as I can tell, the only reason you're here, ousted to the sweaty ass crack of the galaxy, is because a bunch of people happen to be wearing my face. And he was murdered murdered everybody else who you know and love. If you didn't at least consider murdering me, then it's a wonder you made it this far." You don't go through the shit that I did and learn not to take things personally.
So that's what happened.
What do you mean?
Well,
Hi,
I wasn't
Doxy.
really,
It's a
involved
penis.
in the political goings on the last couple of years. As far as I could tell,
and now it's a butthole
Well,
and
the
a
Jedi
smiling
just-
cat.
I stopped running into him after a while. I never knew what
Hey.
happened.
They were.
I think you've come across, just in your travels, you've come across people basically
So does that mean that you
talking
kissed a
about the
penis that was
propaganda
in a
to varying
butthole and
degrees
then you
of belief,
smiled?
but you can know that the general official story is that
Sorry.
the Jedi Order essentially
sorry.
staged a coup and tried to take over the government.
I figure anybody who tries to talk about the Jedi gets fucking put in front of a firing squad.
Fair.
So most people are pretty tight-lipped on it.
I mean, the Empire at the moment is decently okay with letting people be like, "Oh man, thank
Fair.
God
That
Chancellor
makes more
Palpatine,
sense now.
Or sorry, Emperor Palpatine now got rid of those crazy fucks. Good riddance.
That
Maybe.
makes more sense.
Long live the Emperor. Long live the Empire."
Bricks.
Who said that? Oh wait, I'm not
But-
there. Fucking guy.
But yeah,
yeah.
with with you asking about it, so like, what's the word? Role play a little bit. Just the Jedi were purged from the galaxy.
Mhm.
I was on Megiddo with my master Kiadi Mundi when I felt the shift. The clones, no offense, Doc, they stopped acting like themselves. They weren't themselves. It was
He looks like he's trying really hard to not listen to what you're saying.
they were. My squad had turned on me behind enemy lines. I had no other choice. I'll never.
A flash of in your mind of suddenly feeling the impulse through the force of rifles aimed at your back, and the voices you've heard so many times, ordering you to surrender immediately, with not a hint of affection in your voice. Mira, hearing this being discussed as well, you feel that creep up your spine at that familiar memory that you've lived so many times before of the sound of boots marching through the halls of the Jedi Temple. A single man's voice calling out just, "Troopers, spread through the halls, cover all the exits. None of the younglings can be allowed to escape." As you're both just kind of sitting in that for a minute.
My
How much psychic damage do I take? Damn.
my never made it out. I've been on the run from the Empire ever since, but the blood of my brothers is on my hands. Those clones, we were a small squad. My whole job in the Clone War was to go behind enemy lines. You can't do that with a big army. It was me and 4 clones.
Mm.
I'll never.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
They might have had the same face, but I'll never forget them.
Great. You hear Doc kind of snort from across the room. Like he finds that a little funny.
What?
Then you'll never forget them.
I'll never forget their face, all one of them.
Well, no. It's specifically when you say we were brothers. Or of like,
Yeah.
oh, they were all like, when you imply a sense of like familiarity or uniqueness to them, that's kind of what he thinks is a little funny.
Real quick.
What's up? Yeah,
I
we are
wanna
gonna roll.
roll.
No, we're gonna roll. To repair Doc Smiley, I am going
No,
to pass.
before that, I just want to
Oh.
see if Pitter has paid attention to any of this, or if they're so deep into working on Doc Smiley if they've heard any of it.
Okay, roll me notice. Get me to have processed any of this information. I'm not looking at my screen at the moment. To have processed any of this information, get me a. You're really into fixing Doc Smiley. Give me a 4.
Oh my
I got a
God.
0. I heard nothing.
You're incredible, Devil.
You heard humana. Honestly, no, nothing. You got fuck all.
Yeah. This entire conversation has had a background noise of like power drills and like chainsaws and stuff, like a cartoon would. And Pitter has heard none of this conversation.
Arc welders. The little crackling arc welder noise.
I love the idea of just like bearing my soul of like my worst day ever. And like I just have to keep getting increasingly louder as more power tools come on. I was on
brothers!
my master never made it out.
We fought together as a family!
Yeah.
The implication that Pitter is trying to use a chainsaw to repair a fucking robot circuit board.
All of the tools, whatever tools are
I don't
needed.
know what he's
Next
doing,
to the
but it's
chainsaw.
nice.
A spanner. That's what they use in Star Wars. That's all they ever say.
You know what a spanner is?
It's a wrench.
It's a wrench. Yeah.
It specifically, if you actually look at any time they like pull out a wrench in the movies or like in the TV show and like the cartoons,
Yeah.
it's always like a plumber's wrench, like the kind of wrench they use to take a kitchen faucet off of.
Yeah, it's a monkey wrench because that's the wrenchiest wrench.
No, that's a normal looking wrench. This is specifically like I'll get a picture.
Well, either way, real quick, Daniel, you just kind of hear as you're bearing your soul at this, Doc kind of like like cynically kind of chuckle to himself.
What's so funny?
Nothing, kid. Don't worry about it. Keep your happy memories and don't let this old hunk of junk be the thing to sour your happy memories of your nice little clone family. I'm sure you were I'm sure you thought you were real, or it's like I'm sure they believed they were really close to you.
They were beyond my master and the other Jedi. They were all I had.
I'm sure they were.
They were the only ones who ever treated me as equals. My master obviously taught me everything I know, and the other Padawan were less than.
Yeah,
Well,
he goes, like I said, and it's in a very like kind of cutting you off. He says, like I said. He goes, forget I said anything. I'm gonna roll. Ben, remind me. I'm trying to find the thing for removing or like lowering the level of a consequence.
Normally it's just roll against the DC of whatever the consequence is, and if you succeed, it just goes away with time.
Consequence the shift value of the consequence. Okay, so Greg, let's
It's a
see
6.
here. It's a
So
6.
you need
Okay.
to roll a
Yes.
6.
Well, at the moment, Doc is actually gonna roll that.
Ooh,
Right. Yeah.
Great. So we're gonna do us.
oh, that's pretty good. That's really good.
Great. He is working on like. Essentially, the first thing is he actually caught like. He's not gentle, by the way. I should say that. He is doing this with all of the care and precision of a battlefield triage surgeon.
Mhm.
I at one point, like, he's kind of working on you. He looks up at you, and he asks you if you've ever had a bone marrow injection.
what?
When you say what, he shoves a rag into your mouth, and stabs well, he pulls out. It's basically imagine a syringe with a drill tip for a needle. Shoves it directly into your leg as you feel something be injected into you. As you try to scream and bite down on your tongue, but the thing in your mouth muffles it. He rips it out, and the Bacta injection starts to kind of like work its way to like healing the wound in your leg, like the lacerations on your leg. And he goes, "Now you have."
Oh, I didn't like that at all. That was not fun.
I'm out of lollipops, but you can keep the rag if you want.
I think Mira is visibly disappointed.
They're working on it.
Pitter, let's have you roll real quick to get Doc Smiley up and running. I'm going to need from you He's like his circuitry is really fried here. I'm also gonna need a 6.
Okay. And trying to remember how to do this right. So
Actually,
also-
I'm gonna actually I'm gonna ask for a 7.
okay. So I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna roll my crafts,
Jesus.
and I want to use the chaotic freelance mechanic to assist with that.
So you don't need to use that right away because you might just fucking ball out. You don't
Okay.
typically use fate points and aspects before the
Until
roll.
after you roll, yeah.
Okay.
Now I will say you can try to use your force enhanced abilities if they're better than your actual like crafting abilities, but there's no need to. I would say in this instance it's more relevant for you to use just your ability to build things.
Yeah, that is higher than my force sense.
Yes. Okay.
I'm on 3.
Okay. So you can use actually, so you do have fate points remaining, and you can actually use multiple fate points and multiple aspects if you choose. 5, 6, 7. So you could theoretically, if you can think of 2 aspects, like 2 different aspects, you can spend 2 fate points and get a +4 and throw yourself over the 7.
Or you can
Okay.
reroll.
Or you can spend 1 fate point and reroll. That's up to you. I'm giving you options.
Because if you get a -1.
So if I re-roll and it's not better, then what are my options?
I don't know if you can re-roll and then also use aspects on it. I think you can. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. So I'm gonna make a
Yeah, you
I'm
can you
I'm
can
gonna make a
use the
game
first
time.
fate point to
Yeah.
reroll. As
So
long as
you
you
could-
spend
you have
another
3
fate point,
so
you
you
can
have
reroll
3
or
fate
+2 again.
So you have 3 fate points, so you can try to re-roll, and if you fuck it up again, you can just go, okay, now I'm gonna use both my fate points to do that. If you have 2 different aspects that allow you to heal, that allow you to be relevant in this.
You just for each fate point you spend, you have to invoke a different aspect. So
That's correct.
the
Yes.
first fate point, I assume you're going to invoke your high concept.
Uh-huh.
So when you're invoking that, did you want to re-roll at first, or do you want to just spend it on a +2?
I wanna try re-rolling.
Okay.
Okay. So spend the fate point and then re-roll.
Okay. So what have I do? And then I'm gonna be higher.
God damn it.
To the letter.
You see, this is why I asked those questions. Okay.
So
Do you have any other aspects that you can invoke in order to spend fate points on fixing?
Okay.
she did recently add Skittermander reputation. And the
Yeah.
reputation of the Skittermanders is that
Oh,
if you give them
yeah.
some bubble gum and a tin can, they'll give you a starship.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that would probably work, right?
Yeah. I think that, but you said I would need 2 things?
So that would only give you a +2, so that would get you to 5.
Okay.
Or you could try to re-roll again.
You could try to re-roll again and get another 3.
I
Or
don't
just to give you options here, you can also what do you call it? You can also roll to get to a 5 and then succeed at a major cost.
Right.
So there's also, if I'm remembering this correctly, which I might not be, I can invoke my trouble to give you like fate points to use against me later.
Yes,
Is that
you
right?
can. What are you thinking?
Okay.
Tell me where you're at.
Okay. So so my trouble is helpful to a fault. So I am very determined to help Doc Smiley and also Doc who does not want my help.
So you can also invoke your trouble as just a normal aspect without it being a detriment. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that yeah, you basically being too stubborn to let this robot die is absolutely a valid use of that. That's so good.
Cool. So yeah, I'll use both of those to boost this to a 7.
This is like literally to the wire of that 15 minutes that he gave you to like repair this thing. Yeah, it's like to the wire of you. Like you're throwing everything in the kitchen sink. Doc Smiley, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like doing something. It's like fires it up, and you get like a here's your words. Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
to clarify, I don't change it from its pediatric setting. I leave that.
That would be a whole other set of roles.
Good.
Yeah, good. I like Doc Smiley just the way he is.
Kazron doesn't, but he's not there, so Kazron would definitely have said something.
But yeah, you're just like firing up. It's like, okay, just go on, do this. Okay, let's try. And then you like plug something in. Like you just jump 2 circuits together. Massive spark. 3 of the light bulbs go out, and the screen kind of fires up. Niños y vaqueros, soy el Doc Smiley.
Oh my god.
And it's like, oh no, kind of throw something else. Hallo Kinder und Jungs, ich bin Doc Smiley.
Turns the translation knob another bit.
It's like, no, kind of working on it. Give me a second. Hi, I'm Doc Smiley. As flips one more time, it's like, I think I got it, and just give me a second. I got it.
It's one of those
like
hoodies.
Plug something in as it just again just sparks fly everywhere. It's like, you're right, and just well there, kiddos and buckaroos, Doc Smiley.
Yay!
Oh, Doc,
Peter
am I
is
glad to
hopping up
see
and
you.
down and clapping.
Oh, boy, there! I tell you what, I must have come down with a case of the ouchies myself, something fierce.
Yep. But don't
That's like
worry.
current system diagnostic showing all systems at above critical, hardware integrity at below 15%, and currently running on backup reserve power.
Peter kind of hates all of that. But Peter has currently done their best with what they were given.
I mean, you effectively Dr. Frankenstein him back to life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm letting you know, even in your mastery of mechanics and electronics, you're still only about like 50% sure how you did what you did.
Yeah.
Like, it's in that way that I'm sure anyone who knows how to code of like, what did you do? I don't know, but don't touch it. Don't touch it, it turned on.
Okay. So I pulled up the bit of the SRD about healing and consequences.
Yes.
In case you wanted to,
Please.
for Kanor and possibly Doc Smiley, if you want to run him as if like with hit points.
Okay.
So how it works is like we did. You have to roll an overcome action against whatever the like number of consequence that you took. For an severe consequence like Kanor's, it was a +6, so he passed. If you succeed at the recovery action, someone else succeeds on it for you, which if you do it yourself, you're at a -2, I believe. You get to rename the consequence aspect to show that it is in recovery. So what was his aspect before?
I believe it was severe flesh lacerations.
Okay, is that what it was, Kanor? Like, what's written down on your sheet under your consequence?
Oh, severe 6 lacerations.
Yeah, severe lacerations. Yeah, okay. So we would rename it
Unlike, yes.
to to show that it's in recovery, but it would still be the severe consequence. So like an example here, it goes from broken leg to stuck in a cast. So severe lacerations would just be like heavily bandaged or something. I don't know, whatever. You can make that shit up. So Whether you change the consequence's name or not, and sometimes it might not make sense to do so, mark it with a star so everybody remembers that the recovery has started. Then you just have to wait the time. For a severe consequence, you have to wait one whole scenario after after the recovery action, which a scenario is defined as like one adventure, basically. So like the couple of sessions where the bandits were attacking the town as a scenario, or like the thing we did at the beginning with like fighting the bandits.
Hold on for 1 sec, I'll be right back.
Okay. Or like a scenario would be like us going into the power plant, restoring power. So like the 2 sessions that took. So whatever the next thing we're gonna do after that quest basically is done, you would remove it from your sheet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Severe consequences last a scenario, moderate consequences last 1 session, and a mild consequence only lasts 1 scene. I feel like it's a little quick.
What were you saying?
I was talking about how fast all the other consequences take to heal, and I feel like a lot of them, like the way that it's set up, they go a little too quick. Like mild consequence, once you roll the recovery action, they only take a scene in order to remove them. So basically, like if this was a mild consequence, once we were done at the doctor's office, like once we left and did our next thing, it would be gone from his sheet. I feel like that's a little quick.
Yeah, I think about it in terms of movies, like how long in
maybe.
the movie would it take to get rid of?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, and you do have to also still deal with it during the fight that you got it in too.
Yeah, I'm
fight
okay with it.
happens
I'm
after.
okay with it because, especially in Star Wars, people don't really deal with like lasting injuries for very long.
I mean, unless it's very narrative, like missing your hand or
Nope, that is not a
blinded.
that is not a consequence. That is a consequence that has passed your threshold and become a new flaw.
That's true, an extreme consequence.
I'm saying, but like Princess Leia getting shot and needing Harrison Ford to grow up her titties in order to get behind the blast shields. Watch back Return of the Jedi. That happens.
Goddamn.
Shout out to the fact that those two were hardcore fucking along with Carrie Fisher's Disco Coke Nail. My 2 favorite Star Wars characters. But either way, that doesn't really last super long, so I'm okay with it. So we're just downgrading his severe lacerations to a moderate consequence. Am I correct?
No, it doesn't reduce in size. It's just you rename it to be as if like you're healing from it, and then it lasts for the next scenario.
Yeah, well, some matters anyways.
It stays at a severe consequence until the end of the next scenario, which is basically like a full quest.
Yeah, and then and then I'm assuming it becomes a moderate and then becomes a moderate.
No, it just goes away.
Oh, I always assumed it was if you're healing from it, it's every scenario it basically goes down by 1.
I did too, but this just says once you roll to heal it and succeed, and then wait the amount of time it just goes away.
I'm gonna choose to do it the way we thought because that was what I initially balanced Doc Smiley's ability with.
That sounds fine. It's more narrative that way anyway. Like it makes the consequences last an appropriate amount of time anyway.
Well, like I said, it's also the advantage is that Doc Smiley can instantly just bump you down versus I have to keep rolling to like naturally heal from something.
Fair.
Gotcha.
It just costs money and time or whatever. So, but yeah. Yeah, speaking of which, you've got him operational. Now I'm going to ask you a question, Pitter Patter, if you want to try your luck here. If you can roll me a 5 on a crafting check,
I get to fix the lollipops.
I will let you attempt to add 1 flavor back to his sucrose generator.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm going to need a 5 though.
Repair the flavor modules.
Yeah, basically to repair his ability to do this. He at the moment can still shit out like basically a malformed lump of sucrose on a stick. This will actually make it like taste like something.
You got
Yeah,
this.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Dice
Cool.
don't fail me now because I ain't got no more fate points.
Do it.
Oh my
Nope.
god.
No,
They failed you big time.
no.
A lollipop clatters into the bottom of his like tray. And it is a like you get it repaired, like he can produce the lollipops again, but it's at the level that they were at before.
Bummer.
Peter pouts but takes said lollipop.
We are gonna pivot real quick across town to Kazron, making his way to Eldy's place, that house of ill repute, where the women of the night go to ply their craft.
Did anyone choose to go follow him? Because I know that me,
No.
Kanor, Pitter, and
Yeah,
Shar,
yeah.
were you
did
also
not.
committed to being in the hospital?
I'm
Okay.
committed to going
Yeah,
to the
nobody
hospital.
followed him.
So nobody followed him.
Even better.
All by himself.
I have business to take care of anyway, if I remember correctly.
You do. You've agreed to basically go find the guy who is a regular customer of Idion's sister, and threaten him to get out of town and not besmirch the good name of his sister again. Like, go threaten this John for me.
I've got a question. Can I pivot and just go kill the dude who sent me on this mission?
What the fuck?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. There will be consequences for it, but if you want to just go like straight up shoot the guy in the head, like that's on you.
No, I'll go
That's
rough up the
But make no
guy.
mistake, that is murder.
Yes, yes.
That is straight up murder.
I think that's
He
great.
sent me through a sewer and was non-specific.
You didn't ask.
I asked for a map. It was a really poorly drawn map.
No, the map itself was fine. It was just the margins of like the margins of like, oh yeah, like this is what is lurking in this part of the thing. That was non-specific, but like the actual directions were fine.
If I remember correctly, I was threatening to kill him in my mind the entire time we were trudging through that. But
You do that with everyone.
Kazron's a Sith. What do you expect from him?
He threatens to kill everybody, including but not limited to himself.
True, true. These are facts. No, I'll go rough up the guy and then go kill him.
Fair enough.
Or
Great.
rough him up. I don't know whether I'll kill him. I might rough him up. I want my money back.
Well, either way, you head out to Eldy's place. You know, you like you said, you head out to Eldy's place.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those where things have calmed down a little bit as it gets into the wee hours of the morning. But it's at that point where like all the Johns are like kind of picking out who they're going to take upstairs and getting their, settling up their last round of drinks,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like where they're settling to.
That's where they're at the night. Okay.
Mm-hmm. If you're looking around,
Mm-hmm.
you do spot Tika, the what do you call it? The woman who you were informed is that is the name of Idion's sister. Green-skinned Twi'lek woman, wearing like the traditional sort of provocative Twi'lek. Basically, imagine like a tube, like a flowy tube top and like waist wrap skirt kind of situation, As she appears to be like sitting on the edge of the stage, talking to a human gentleman who appears pretty inebriated as he's basically leaned over with a stack of credits in his hand, kind of slurring incoherently about how much he loves her and like my goodness, if you ain't just the prettiest thing that the galaxy ever done made, I swear, I'd be so good to you, I promise. And that's kind of like where you peg those two at.
Okay. I was only supposed to rough him up, right, and tell him to get out of town. That was what the contract was for.
That is what your employer question mark as the deal basically is. You have to get it's not even get out of town necessarily. It's
leave her alone.
Yeah, tell this guy leave her alone. Stop disrespecting her and infringing on her her honor and good name.
Kazron is still wondering what that all is, but okay, I walk up to them.
Curtis, oh well, ain't you just aren't you just the sweetest thing
Sir.
ever? But and he looks is sir as he goes, huh? Oh, another yeah, I'll take a refill as soon as you get the chance. Thank you very much, and one of whatever the lady likes.
I pull my vibroblade and jam it into the table.
Great. He hops up and back. He's like, "What the hell? What are you on about, you crazy son of a bitch?"
Need to get out of town and leave this lovely lady alone.
What? I mean, he's just like, "What the?" He was, "Get out." He was, "What are you talking about?" Because we were just having a conversation.
I'll pay for your evening. Leave and don't come back.
As you hear off to the side, just, oh, what in tarnation? And you feel a hand grab you on the shoulder and spin you around.
Yes.
Right round?
Nice.
Like a record, baby.
I love it.
Great. As you see her there, very much like I said, she's still in her, for lack of a better term, like stripper attire, but has this very different energy from what was there a second ago, right?
Hold on.
Very different energy. As like I said, she grabs you.
Hold on.
All right.
1 second.
She goes.
My son of a.
Hey there, sweetie, could you give us a minute? I'll be with you just a sec. He was like, yeah, you know what? I tell you what, I'll see you later, okay? I'm gonna go settle up at the bar without Eldy. And he kind of slinks away as she reaches over, pulls your knife out of the table, and isn't pointing it at you, but is using it to gesture at you as a pointing instrument, right? She goes, now you listen to me. I don't know who the hell you are or where in the hell you get off coming into my job and fucking with my money. But if you think for 1 second, and she goes, that man's a paying customer, so you can march your happy ass right out the door, or I can call Eldy over here and you can settle up with her exactly how this evening is gonna go for you.
Listen, it's your brother's fault.
Her entire face just kind of oh, and she goes, "Idiot put you up to this?"
Well, he had information I wanted. I didn't want to pay for it, so he told me to come and do this.
Great, she waves over and she goes, "Yeah, don't." This son of a.
I've now done my job.
Great.
Can I have my blade back?
Great. She hands you the blade back and she goes, how much did he offer you to come rough up my customers?
You really don't want to know.
How much did that out of work beatnik moron pay you to come in here and what was he always saying?
As I put my
Defend
vibroblade
the
back
honor-
into my cloak,
defend the honor of my good name. Whatever the hell that even means.
he paid me with information, and it was good information. Though
So being fair, you paid him about 30 credits for it.
yeah,
Or I think it was it was 30 credits, right?
30 credits and this favor.
Great. She reaches into like a little pouch behind her, pulls out a stack of about 500 credits, peels off 30 and hands them to you.
Thank you. Hold on, I'm having internet trouble.
Will you let me handle him and not drag his ass? Oh, hello.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I couldn't hear you for a good 2 minutes.
Okay,
And
so-
now OBS reconnected.
Okay, so basically, she was being presented to you initially as this poor, put-upon maiden who has been forced into this life of servile disrespect, and is in need of like her chivalrous brother and like a strong man to come in and rescue her. She pulls out like $500 and peels off the 30 without even blinking and says, "All right, here's your money back. Consider it a refund." Is this enough to persuade you to not strap my idiot brother to the back of a hover speeder and drag his ass all over town and let me go handle it?
I have a proposition for you.
And she goes, "If it's the kind of proposition I'm thinking of, it's going to be double."
No. I just need alibis from time to time.
Alibis.
Yeah, like I spent the night in the room with you.
I
even
know
though...
what a damn alibi is. I'm a hooker, not a moron.
Fair enough.
She goes, "What the hell you need alibis for?" What kind of... And she goes,
Here's your
"Depends what
30
kind of
credits.
business-"
Here's your 30 credits back.
She
I
goes,
need one
"Depends what kind of
alibi from
business-"
you. Just, I was with you the entire night.
She just goes, "Did you kill anybody?" Well, she rephrase this, "Did you kill anybody? Did you kill anybody what didn't deserve it?"
No.
"Keep the damn money." And she goes,
and I won't kill your brother. Because that
great.
Just one alibi, but not necessarily tonight. It is, I will come in here, and you'll know that I need the alibi, and you will come forward.
She takes the money back as she nods at you and she goes, "Deal."
Thank you.
It's like that simple half-wit.
You
And
really should go take care of your brother. He's at the pub last time I saw him losing a lot of money.
Oh, that's about where he's been last time anybody saw him. And the good news is, once you're already at zero, you ain't got much money left to lose now, do you?
You'd be surprised. I gave him 30 credits, so who knows where he is.
She shakes her head and she goes, "Ever since he lost his damn job, he has been all bent out of shape about what everybody else is doing." And she goes, acting like and she goes, "When I announced I was working here, acting like it was the end of the world, like I was going off to run spice for the huts or something. Do I look like I'm struggling to you?"
Nope. Never thought you were, but my word is my bond, you know, all that.
And she goes, "Anyway, I don't see what a big damn deal it is." And she goes, "What a big damn deal it is anyway."
I got no
As
problems
I can
with
tell,
it.
you men, says you men folk running around the galaxy. Near as I can tell, the kind of garbage that you agree to sell, rent out your bodies for is way more undignified than any of the shit that I have to deal with.
Fair enough.
Go on, get I'm gonna wait for my regular to scrape the crap out of his pants and see if I can coax him into one more dance before the end of the night.
You have my apologies.
I don't want your damn apologies. And she
And I
goes,
should probably stay away from him because I think I might make him crap his pants again if I go over there and apologize to him.
he goes, agreed. Shoo.
I'll leave now. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Great. You watch her like wave you off and then like take a second and then very much like the mask of like the seductive Twi'lek face goes back on as she saunters over to go like rub the guy on the shoulders like, oh hey there sugar, I'm sorry about that. I'll tell you what, a man like that, looking him in the eye and walking away, that's about the bravest thing I ever done saw.
All right, I've done my due diligence. I've done my job. Yeah. I head over to Doc Smiley's.
Okay. Great. Everything's in the middle of everything's kind of coming down from it after that. Great. When you knock on the door as well, everyone inside knock on the door, and the doc just kind of like slams down his case and just is like, bloody hell, another one. And he's like, what do people in this town not get about a closed sign?
He's with us. It's okay.
And we're not from this town, so.
When you say he's with us, he goes, that's really not as much of a feather in his cap as you might think it is.
I just kind of walk in and like, so is the robot fixed?
Yes.
Is he set to child's mode?
Great. And he goes, so great. Doc Smiley looks over at you and he goes, absolutely not. And he goes, absolutely not. My settings have been fully restored to base capacity, and I can see that the person I'm dealing with is certainly a big boy, ain't you? Just the rootinest, tootinest little buccaneer in all the West.
Kazron just shakes his head like,
Buccaneer.
Or buckaroo.
Yeah. So the answer would be
I think
no.
Peter did not fix what was not broken.
I did not fix what is not broken. Peter says,
Fair enough,
all
Peter.
6 arms outstretched in a priestly sort of way. I'm like, I will not fix what is not broken.
He's perfect the way he is.
Fair enough, Peter. But nice job.
Yes.
I will say, from the damaged circuits that you pulled out and had to replace, similar actually to what was at the power grid. I mean, obviously, because it was the same source of the damage, but just a massive source of electricity that traveled up through the charger, and yet it essentially melted most of his internal components.
Considering what happened at the power plant, I'm a little surprised Doc Smiley wasn't completely melted by that power surge.
What happened to the power plant again that it surged?
Nothing happened at the power plant. It was whatever happened the night the sheriff died, or the moment the sheriff died, that caused the power to go out. Basically, whatever energy weapon hit him caused a whiplash of electricity that went into probably a transformer or like some distributor of power, and it traveled back to the power station and essentially was so much power all at once that it just blew past every like ground wire and circuit breaker in the place.
Fair enough.
Like it just overloaded the neutral essentially as yeah, same inciting incident basically.
Right.
As similarly, I mean Doc Doc thanks you for your work. You know,
Yeah.
tells you, like, make no mistake. He says, you're not going to make a habit out of this.
That's what he thinks.
Peter makes no promises.
Kazron says that loud enough that he can hear it. That's what you think.
Great. He shoots you a look.
Uh-huh.
He tells you, Peter, what do you call it? He tells you that if you ever get yourself banged up, consider a session from Doc Smiley on you.
Oh, thanks.
That's sweet.
Also, I think some words you're missing are Peter, you did a good job.
Great. He's looking at you. I mean,
Mhm.
he already did say in the spirit of that, of like,
Yeah, but I told him the words he was missing.
Oh my god.
don't push your luck, kid.
Peter looks up at him with the big glittery eyes.
Oh my god.
Mm. All right. Well, it's early morning, which means we've been up a long time. So I think it's time for bed.
Yes.
Agreed.
Peter gives like the biggest yawn, and you can see all their sharp little teeth.
Yeah, the little needle teeth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
head
will
back
say
to the fire.
he just goes, yeah. The Doc kind of is like idly wondering to himself of like, he says, if whatever that energy surge was, if it could do that to a clanker, I'd hate to be the poor son of a bitch who had to take that to the chest.
Sure.
Yeah. In other news, we'll be looking for a new sheriff.
He snorts and says, I suspect not for long.
Why is that?
Well, he does say that. He says, there was this deputy who's good-natured, if pretty much useless. Yeah, he says good-natured, if pretty much useless, and then aside from that, it says that if he doesn't step up and grow a pair, then I suspect the governor will just step in and appoint someone.
For the Empire.
We should probably make an appointment to meet this governor because there's a lot of shit going on in this town that they ain't doing much about.
I suppose, if we intend to solve all their problems for them.
Well, it's the least we could do for them putting us up here.
Oh, no, I was being 100% serious. I intend to solve all the problems for them.
Great. So you all go back home, go to bed, rest up. Kazron or Kanor, you do have an early morning shift. One of your various odd jobs that you do to make ends meet.
Okay.
Just for like the, like I said, just the flavor of like him waking up at like 4 a.m, or waking up at like goes home, head hits pillow. Bed, sweet bed. Alarm immediately goes off. Fuck.
That's how I
Peter
feel a lot of
from
days.
What's up?
Peter from wherever they sleep in the room, because I forget where I said that they sleep. Like pushes out a piece of what used to be scrap, which has been fashioned into a crutch. Just pushes that out and then scrambles back into their sleeping space to sleep again.
Oh my god. I'm like, I partially imagine for those listening, basically Frank and Charlie from It's Always Sunny is the kind of living vibe going on. But instead of sleeping on the same bed, I imagine Peter having basically a large version of like a cat tower, but made of like old 2x4s and like an old engine chassis that's had all the pistons taken out.
Peter has a mouth hole in the wall, like Jerry.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jerry. They sleep in the wall, like in the wiring in the walls, like as a hammock.
Oh my god.
There has a built-in invisible hatch that they know how to open, and in emergencies, they have told Kazron how to open. Sorry, Kanor how to open, but the people who own the building don't know that they have installed this or that they sleep in the walls.
Love that.
I love it.
Oh my god. But yeah. You know, those of you staying in the inn, go downstairs, get some inflated bread for breakfast. Overall, what's that?
Inflated bread.
Just a rather peaceful day. You do hear, like, as you're sitting at breakfast, the sound of like a PA system firing up.
Okay.
As from the town square, it is here. All right, everyone, people of town. It's like, it's like an official gubernatorial address is to be issued. Please come to the main square if you are able. As it sounds like someone who has very much not actually had to use this system in the past, and it's kind of like, fuck, what do I say? How do I do this?
Well, I suppose we go listen to what he has to say.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, if you head into the town square, you see on basically it is a floating stage. Like, it's a repurposed one of the mining barges that you used on like or you saw on like the first day, but sort of reskinned into like a portable stage podium situation. As you see a man standing on it, wearing like the formal Star Wars equivalent of like a suit and tie, older looking gentleman. He's going bald up top and has like the most aggressive comb over that you've seen in some time. This suit also
Can you close my door?
clearly fit him okay at one point and now sort of doesn't. And he looks a little drunk. Just a little, right? Like, this is like his 5th or 6th priority today. As you gather from the way people are talking, this is, in fact, the good governor of the planet. And just, now, everyone, I understand there have been some unpleasantness in the last few days. The recent troubles with the power's infrastructure due to the recent increase in seismic activity, which, rest assured, I am working with our engineers to shore up and ensure will not be happening again.
Seismic activity.
Are you saying that? Are you like questioning that out loud, or?
This is he.
Yeah, no, literally, yes, actually. Just British. Imagine British that.
I was gonna say this, but yeah. Stand by him.
Why is that not the same person?
It is.
Perfect.
It's not, but it is.
Same guy, different font.
Same energy. What was his name again?
Jacob
Jacob.
Waisaki's character.
Yeah, the character
Something
that.
Steel.
Oh yeah.
He also goes by an alias in that sketch, so
Yeah, it was so funny. I love that bit.
either way. But yes, that is the energy. Paler, obviously, and with a British accent.
Yeah.
But yes, he's just also the suit is gray and black.
Yeah. So
But as
he's
just-
trying to pass
as
it
he
off as
says that-
seismic activity. Is that
He
what he
says
said?
basically there was a particularly large increase in seismic activity that knocked their power system a little bit, or their power generation system a little bit out of whack. But He's spoken to both the geologists who assure him that it was a freak accident, as well as their engineers who have assured him that they have been hard at work, shoring up the system, making sure that this will not happen again.
Peter, who is still half asleep and has climbed up to the shoulders of the closest party member and is essentially being worn like a scarf on them right now without any of their input, wakes up just enough to roll their eyes at this.
Are we all out in the town square? Did everybody wake up and go out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will have.
Yeah.
I look at Pitter, who I assume is on my shoulder, because I'm probably the only one who doesn't care.
Peter's
And
scared.
I-
I love how Pitter's doing this, despite the fact that they have a robot suit that has likely telescopic legs.
Yes. I look at Pitter and I go, did you talk to him when we got back?
No.
I wonder who he's talking about then.
Peter was trying to sleep after Doc Smiley. Nothing else took precedence.
Fair enough. I just figured if he's talking to the people who worked on the generator, that would have been you, but I don't know who he was talking to then.
He's lying.
He's lying.
Oh, well.
You've never met a politician before?
I can't say I have. I tend to avoid all that.
Would you say this is madness, or is this politics?
God damn it.
The one thing I don't miss about Coruscant.
I will say you do recognize he is speaking with an upper Coruscant accent.
Fuck that guy.
Oh, man.
It is now in the common lexicon known as the Imperial accent.
Right.
Because it's just based on the fact that most of the Imperial officers are from Coruscant. It tends to be what they sound like.
Right.
But yeah, as he goes, now, and he goes, again, dealing with that along with the, he says, tragic passing of our dear beloved, and he goes, enforcer of the law, and he goes, Sheriff Kent Harrend, tragically cut down in the line of duty. He says, defending this town from the outrider, from the invasion of the outriders who sought to threaten the small bubble of prosperity that we've managed to carve for ourselves. He did not die. He died hours after they fled the town. Like, you spoke with him in between that. So again,
Wait, he died after who did what? What'd you say?
basically this guy is saying that during the battle with the Outriders, which were the gang that invaded the town, he was shot down in the line of duty and died. But you know that, no, they fled and you guys had several conversations and he died later that night.
Oh, yeah, somebody shot him, and then
the Empire came in and smuggled away the body very quickly. As this guy's saying,
Oh,
yeah, he died during the invasion, and it was a tragedy, but but he would want us to continue and to continue to prosper in the town for which he dedicated years of service. He says, so in due course, we will be selecting a new sheriff to act as lawman for this town. However, until then, his and he says his let me just look up real quick. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. But he says his
Deputy?
loyal. Thank you. Sorry, I'm typing at the same time. His loyal deputy and right-hand man.
I like the visual that even the mayor has to he's
He's his loyal
his,
deputy and right-hand man.
It's man thing always trying to find the right place in the notes.
yeah, he doesn't know the
You
dude's
see him
name.
you see him subtly look down at his palm.
Sometimes he not suddenly look down at his palm.
Deputy Gar Walden. And then that's again, yeah, that guy whose name I totally knew, yeah.
Mhm.
As Deputy Walden, again, skinnier guy, kind of like little mop of hair on his head, big chunky like Maz Kanata welding goggles that give him that like bug-eyed, like constantly looks like he's even more like wide-eyed and nervous than he really is as he's kind of like looking around. Kind of like rolls his shoulders back and tries to tip a hat that isn't there. And he goes, well, listen, folks, I know we're all still coming to terms with, as he said, the unpleasantness recently, but I'm no Sheriff Heron, but I'm going to do my best to, as the governor jumps in with like, yes, inspiring words indeed. Well, onward to more pleasant matters. Like just steamrolls right over the kid and just onward to more pleasant matters. He says that, as you know, later this month is that most tremendous, or he says is a most tremendous occasion. And he has received word from the inner, rim from Coruscant that we will, and he is that we will be given permission to celebrate the new, and he is a new imperial holiday. As he says, so that is, he is greenlighting a festival to celebrate this holiday. And he says it is Empire Day.
Oh no.
Pretty
So that
sure
we might.
everybody's eyes roll.
This is a relatively new thing. He's saying it's going to celebrate Empire Day. But yeah, as he says that it will be an occasion for us all to gather in solidarity to celebrate the, and he goes to celebrate the tremendous mercy and bounty that our great emperor has bestowed upon us. As you do hear a few people complaining about like, ain't got money to fix the damn roads, got enough money for a festival for the empire. And people mumbling about like, that damn ship that brought us in from orbit on our first day almost fell out of that. It almost dropped out of Atmo 4 times. Is it, you ever notice in the meantime the bucket heads, or is it the bucket heads look shinier every time you see them? Pick my teeth in the back of one of those helmets. Where's the money from this town going anyway? Yeah, as he says, they're going to be welcoming some special Imperial guests from Coruscant.
Yay.
Gross.
My least favorite people from my least favorite place.
Mhm.
Yeah, welcoming some Imperial guests from Coruscant to help them properly celebrate. As he seems like salivating at the thought of this. But yeah, as he finishes announcements, basically it smooths everything over of like, oh yeah, everything's completely fine. Like, everything is a freak accident. Those like filthy savages that invaded from the outskirts of town, they caused everything bad, and we're just doing everything perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then basically tells you all to disperse. And begins like talking to his staff about getting him back to his house.
Yeah, and this was the mayor, yeah?
This is the governor of the entire planet.
Governor. Okay.
Hello, Governor.
He is the governor, yes.
Interesting.
He is the man that the Empire basically, after the Separatists left, the Empire basically handed him this planet and town and was like, "Here, you run this shit."
Excuse me. Okay. with that being said, is everybody cool with ending it here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Well, have a great night stream.
Bye.